In the quiet dawn of every soul, there lies a forge, unseen yet eternal. It is here that the spirit is tempered, where doubt meets fire and weakness is hammered into strength. The ancients called this path Hagane no Ishi, the will of steel, a resolve so pure it bends but never breaks. Just as the blade becomes sharper through countless strikes, so too does the mind become unshakable through pain, patience and purpose. The world will test you with storms and shadows, but remember, the samurai does not seek an easy path. He seeks mastery over himself. This is not just motivation, this is discipline, precision and spirit, the art of turning adversity into power. If your heart beats for greatness, if your soul burns for purpose, then you are already among warriors. Comment, "I will forge my will," and subscribe to join this brotherhood of relentless minds. This community that refuses to yield. Together we rise from the ashes, unbroken and unstoppable. Thank you for walking this path of iron and silence. Discipline over emotion is the foundation upon which every unbreakable mind is built. The samurai understood that emotions are like waves, powerful, beautiful, but fleeting. They crash upon the shore of the mind, and without discipline a man is swept away by their force. Anger, fear, and doubt are natural, but to act upon them without restraint is to lose mastery over oneself. Discipline, on the other hand, is the art of stillness in the storm. It is the steel within the fire, the strength to remain unmoved when chaos calls your name. True warriors do not suppress emotion. They acknowledge it, study it, and transform it into precision. The disciplined mind does not react. It responds. When your will governs your emotions, you no longer live by impulse but by intention. The one who controls himself has already won half the battle before it begins. In the path of the samurai method, discipline is not a burden, it is freedom. Freedom from the chains of fear, laziness, and hesitation. Discipline gives clarity, and clarity gives power. Imagine waking before the sun, training when your body screams for rest, and sharpening your mind while others are lost in distraction. This is the way of Hagane no Ishi, the will of steel. Each moment of discomfort becomes a strike of the hammer shaping your inner blade. Every sacrifice, every repetition, forges your mind stronger than emotion could ever make it. When others break under stress, the disciplined mind breathes. When others fall to anger, it remains calm. You do not need motivation every day when you have discipline. For motivation fades, but discipline endures. It is your silent ally, your invisible armor, the force that carries you through every battlefield life presents. To choose discipline over emotion is to transcend the weakness of the moment. The samurai does not wait for the perfect feeling to act. He acts because the path demands it. Emotions are wind. Discipline is the mountain. The warrior does not deny his heart. He simply refuses to let it lead him astray. When fear whispers, discipline speaks louder. When pain strikes, discipline stands firm. This principle extends beyond battle. It governs how you speak, how you think, how you live. Every decision becomes an act of control. Every failure a lesson in resilience. Discipline builds trust in yourself, for you learn that no matter what emotion arises, you will not be ruled by it. And that trust, that silent certainty, is where true power is born. It is not about feeling strong. It is about being unshakable. Emotion is the spark, but discipline is the flame that keeps burning when the winds of life grow fierce. Mastery through repetition is the essence of all great art, battle and transformation. The samurai did not seek variety. He sought perfection through constancy. Every strike of the blade, every movement of the hand, every breath drawn in silence. Each was an act of devotion to mastery. The untrained mind seeks excitement, but the disciplined spirit understands that excellence is born from monotony. Repetition is not dullness. It is the sacred rhythm of growth. When you repeat something with full awareness, it ceases to be a habit, it becomes a ritual. The warrior who swings his sword 1,000 times a day does not do it to prove strength. He does it to dissolve weakness. Mastery begins when repetition stops being a task and becomes a way of life. In the repetition, the self disappears, and only precision remains. The path of the samurai was never about speed, it was about depth. Each repetition carved wisdom into the body, into the mind, into the soul. You cannot become exceptional by doing something once with passion. You become exceptional by doing it endlessly, with purpose. When you repeat an act with discipline, you forge neural steel. Your body begins to move without hesitation. Your mind flows without resistance. That is shuhari, the ancient principle of mastery. First you learn the form, then you break it, and finally you transcend it. Repetition burns the lesson into your spirit until there is no separation between the act and the actor. The swordsman and the sword become one. The artist and the art become one. The human and the purpose become inseparable. Repetition is not punishment, it is purification. Those who run from repetition run from mastery itself. It is in the 1,000th failure that greatness is refined, not the first success. When you repeat an act with mindfulness, you build more than skill, you build presence. You learn patience, humility, and endurance. You begin to understand that mastery is not a destination but an eternal cycle, an infinite return to the basics, performed with deeper understanding each time. The samurai never grew tired of drawing his blade. He saw each draw as a conversation with eternity. So too must you see your repetitions, your daily practice, your training, your habits, as strokes of destiny. The master does not fear boredom, for he knows boredom is the threshold to enlightenment. Repetition teaches that greatness is not found in intensity, but in consistency. Every day you train, every act you repeat with care. You carve your name into the unseen history of mastery, where only the disciplined few ever arrive. To embrace Mujo, the truth of impermanence, is to understand the rhythm of all existence. The samurai lived by this awareness, that every cherry blossom must fall, every battle must end, and every breath could be the last. Impermanence is not sorrow, it is the source of meaning. When you truly grasp that nothing lasts forever, not pain, not joy, not failure, not victory, you begin to live with greater intensity and gratitude. Mujo teaches the warrior to act without attachment, to give his best effort without clinging to the result. Each sunrise, each encounter, each challenge becomes sacred because it will never happen again. To embrace impermanence is to walk fearlessly into life, knowing that the beauty of the moment lies in its passing. The samurai bowed to death not out of fear, but respect, for it reminded him to live fully now. When you resist Mujo, you suffer. You cling to what must change, you mourn what must evolve, and in doing so you break the flow of life itself. But when you accept impermanence, you gain an unshakable calm. No loss can destroy you because you understand it as part of the cycle. No setback can crush you because you see it as a season passing. The river does not fight the current, it flows. The warrior, too, learns to flow with life's impermanent nature, adapting like water while remaining true to his form. This acceptance becomes strength. You stop fearing the end because you learn to see beginnings within it. Just as the blade must endure both forging and cooling, so must the soul embrace both rise and fall. Change is not your enemy, it is your greatest teacher. To live with Mujo is to be alive without chains. You love fiercely but without possession. You dream boldly but without despair. You fight bravely but without arrogance. You begin to see every ending as transformation, every loss as a chance to refine your spirit. The samurai knew that to fear death was to waste life, so he practiced dying each day, not in body, but in ego, letting go of the need to control, to cling, to last. When you understand Mujo, you no longer waste time wishing for permanence. You use time wisely, for you know it will slip away. That awareness sharpens your focus, deepens your gratitude, and strengthens your resolve. You realize that life's fragility is its greatest power, and that true strength is not found in resisting impermanence, but in dancing with it gracefully, fearlessly, eternally. Zanshin. The state of unyielding focus is the essence of the warrior's awareness. It is the moment after the strike, the silence between breaths, the calm that lingers when the action is complete. To live with Zanshin is to exist fully in the present, neither haunted by the past nor distracted by what lies ahead. The samurai trained his mind to remain sharp. Even when the sword was lowered, his awareness never slept, his spirit never drifted. This is not just concentration, it is total presence. Zanshin means to see everything, to feel everything, yet be ruled by nothing. In a world that pulls your attention in 1,000 directions, unyielding focus becomes your greatest weapon. Every sound, every movement, every heartbeat, all are noticed, yet none disturb your stillness. It is in this state that clarity is born, and through clarity, mastery is achieved. The modern warrior must learn to cultivate Zanshin not only in combat, but in life. To stay alert in a world of noise, to act with precision amidst chaos, this is true strength. When you eat, eat with full awareness. When you train, train as if your life depends on it. When you speak, let every word carry intention. Zanshin transforms simple actions into art, and mundane moments into meditation. The one who masters this awareness does not lose himself in distraction, emotion, or doubt. He moves with purpose and lives with presence. This mindset is not born overnight. It is sharpened like a blade through discipline, silence, and self-betrayal. Every distraction resisted is a victory. Every moment reclaimed is a step closer to mastery. Zanshin is not about doing more. It is about being fully alive in what you do. To hold Zanshin is to walk through life with the mind of a warrior and the heart of a monk. Your eyes see the battlefield, but your soul remains still as the mountain. This focus allows you to read life as a swordsman reads his opponent, sensing the subtle shifts, anticipating the unseen. You no longer react blindly to life's chaos. You respond with precision and grace. In Zanshin, even stillness becomes powerful. You learn to wait without wavering, to move without hesitation. The warrior who holds Zanshin is never caught unprepared, for his awareness extends beyond the moment, like ripples after a stone touches water. In a distracted age, such focus is a form of rebellion, a return to mastery, to control, to peace. Through Zanshin, you awaken to the truth that focus is not just attention, it is presence, discipline, and the pure expression of a mind unshaken by the world. Shin-Gi-Tai, the unity of mind, technique, and body, is the sacred triangle of mastery. For the samurai, it was not enough to wield the blade skillfully, he had to wield himself. Shin is the heart and mind, Ji is the skill and technique, and Tai is the body and form. When these three become one, the warrior moves beyond effort. His actions flow naturally, without hesitation or doubt. The untrained separate thought from motion, heart from hand, but the samurai knew there could be no division. Each strike of the sword reflected the state of the spirit. A restless mind produced a reckless blade, but a centered mind forged perfect movement. Harmony between mind and blade is not just about combat. It is about alignment with purpose. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions unite, you become unstoppable, unshakable, unbroken. The modern warrior must learn to live in this harmony daily. The body must obey the mind, but the mind must listen to the heart. When you move with discipline, think with clarity, and act with compassion, you walk the path of Shin-Gi-Tai. This harmony is achieved not through speed, but through stillness, not through power, but through balance. When training, the samurai did not rush to victory. He sought control of his own energy. The same principle applies to life. When your inner world is in order, your outer world follows. A weak spirit makes even the strongest body useless, but a strong spirit can make even humble skill extraordinary. Every breath, every motion, every thought must serve one purpose: mastery of self. Through practice, the separation between intention and action disappears. Thought becomes movement, and movement becomes art. To embody Shin-Gi-Tai is to live as one complete being, no longer divided between what you think, what you feel, and what you do. It is the dance between focus and flow, control and surrender. When you face obstacles, this harmony allows you to move with precision and grace, even under pressure. You stop overthinking because your training, your mind, and your body have become one entity, fluid, aware, and decisive. The warrior who attains Shin-Gi-Tai no longer fights against life. He moves with it. His blade cuts clean not because of strength, but because of alignment. His heart leads, his technique obeys, and his body follows. This is the highest expression of mastery, to live and act as a single force of purpose. The modern path to greatness is no different. Align your heart, your skill, and your body, and you will discover a power that no weapon can match and no storm can break. Fudoshin is the essence of courage in stillness. It is not the absence of fear, but the calm that stands unmoved in its presence. The samurai knew that true strength was not wild aggression or reckless bravery, but serenity under pressure, the ability to face chaos with an unshaken heart. Fudoshin means to be like the mountain amidst the storm, unyielding, silent, and centered. When the world trembles, the warrior breathes. When danger rises, his spirit remains still. This stillness is not weakness. It is mastery over emotion. The immovable mind is the result of endless training, reflection, and self-conquest. It is the point where courage is no longer an effort but a state of being. In this stillness, the warrior becomes aware of everything, controlled by nothing. He does not panic in battle. He becomes the calm within it. The path to Fudoshin begins with acceptance, of fear, of uncertainty, of impermanence. The samurai did not seek to destroy fear. He befriended it, studied it, and learned to move through it without hesitation. When the mind becomes still, fear loses its voice. Courage is not the roar of defiance. It is the quiet decision to stand firm when everything else falls away. The one who possesses Fudoshin cannot be manipulated by chaos nor broken by adversity. His strength comes from inner balance, not outer circumstance. In silence, he finds control. In stillness, he finds power. This stillness allows him to see clearly, to act, not from impulse, but from wisdom. Like water, he reflects the world without distortion, yet nothing can disturb his depth. In this state, every motion is deliberate, every decision precise. To live with Fudoshin is to walk through life with unshakable faith in yourself and your path. You learn that calm is the highest form of power, for it cannot be forced or faked. When others lose control, you remain grounded. When uncertainty strikes, you stay composed. This is not arrogance, but mastery, a confidence built upon discipline and awareness. The samurai carried this mindset into every breath, every duel, every moment of existence. The same spirit applies to modern life. The ability to stay still while the world moves around you is what separates the powerful from the restless. The storms will come, but Fudoshin teaches you to stand firm, not to resist the wind, but to let it pass through you. When your mind becomes unmovable, your courage becomes limitless. You no longer fight the world, you flow through it, unbroken, unafraid, and free. In the end, the path of the samurai mindset is not one of perfection, but of persistence. The fire that forges the blade must burn without end, shaping, refining, transforming. You have learned that discipline triumphs over emotion, repetition builds mastery, and acceptance of Mujo brings peace within change. You've seen that Zanshin sharpens awareness, Shin-Gi-Tai unites the self, and Fudoshin anchors courage in stillness. These are not mere principles. They are ways of living, breathing and becoming. Every struggle you face, every setback you endure, is part of your forging. Remember, the world will test your resolve, but the warrior within you must remain unbroken. The blade becomes sharper with each strike, and so will you. Stand tall in your silence, act with purpose, and walk the path of iron will. Comment, I will forge my spirit, and continue this journey with our brotherhood of relentless minds. A community where weakness is shared and strength is born. Thank you, warrior, for walking this path with honor, with heart, and with fire. The forge is eternal, and your spirit unbreakable.